geht er richtig, ne?
Ja.
Hier sind immer noch 70 zulässig. 70 km/h zulässig, es liegt bei 180, 181, 182.
A police patrol in Hamburg is chasing an aggressive racer.
Blinker links. Könnte sein, dass der gleich abhaut. So, Fahrzeug fährt jetzt Harburg Mitte runter.
The police officers are witnessing more and more such life-threatening situations.
Könnte sein, dass der Stoff gibt. So, setz dich davor.
We want to know, why do drivers get aggressive and what can be done about it?
So, hören Sie, Sie waren wesentlich zu schnell auf der Wilhelmsburger Reichsstraße. Statt der zulässigen 70 hatten wir über 180 drauf gehabt.
Chief Inspector Thomas Schröder from the Traffic Unit Hamburg South is evaluating the evidence footage of the car chase. He sees this a lot. He catches up to 15 racers per shift.
This is where it starts. Let's see.
More and more road hooligans are making our roads unsafe, and people are more and more willing to exhibit dangerous behavior, abuse, and insults on roads. There was a 12% increase in just 3 years. The perpetrators are likely to receive big fines.
Allein für die Geschwindigkeitsüberschreitung 1.200 Euro.
It's 1,200 euros for the speeding offence alone. He'll also go on to undertake, and then he'll break the speed limit again in the town. So we'll end up with a fine of 1,500 euros and a 3-month disqualification. That's one of the more extreme cases, but it's not that rare either. I'd say there's a lot more of these obscene hand gestures and insults too.
Das ist schon aus meiner Sicht auffälliger geworden.
Impatience among road users has gone up. We're seeing more and more frustration because traffic isn't flowing anymore the way we imagined in the golden 60s and 70s. We're frustrated. We're stuck in traffic jams, in roadworks, in rush hour traffic. That makes us more impatient and consequently more willing to break the law to get ahead a little faster.
Anger and frustration cost lives. An accident occurs in Germany every 14 seconds, and every 2 hours, someone dies on German roads.
What is really aggressive behavior? If we include things like speeding, undertaking and overtaking in areas of poor visibility, as well as tailgating, then these are things that contribute to crashes and mean that there are still lots of road deaths in Germany.
Statistically speaking, the number of road deaths in Germany has been going down for years because our cars have become safer, but our behavior behind the wheel hasn't improved.
The problem is that the drivers we perceive to be aggressive don't see themselves that way. They don't think their behavior is aggressive, and so we can't get through to them with words like that. Most drivers who come to me and who've exhibited quite serious behavior subjectively feel they've done nothing really wrong. They've got an explanation, an excuse, a justification that looks very different to what the situation looks like on paper.
Die sehr viel anders aussieht, als die Aktenlage vermuten lässt.
Experts estimate that 1/3 of all traffic accidents can be put down to aggressive driver behavior. They've also found out that this aggression isn't an end in itself. Instead, drivers are aggressive because they want to assert their interests. Men are particularly likely to exhibit this aggressive behavior. Here in Farel in northwest Germany, we're meeting a man who's experienced quite a few confrontations on the roads. Carsten Greiser loves fast cars and fast driving, but that's often his downfall. Speeding, undertaking, abuse. The list of his traffic offenses is long. He now has 18 points on his license. He should drive more carefully, but he finds that difficult. Just recently, he had another typical encounter on the motorway.
There was a Volvo in front of me. The guy didn't want to get in on the right. He felt he owned the left lane. So I flashed him. That's allowed. That annoyed him so much that he got into the right-hand lane and put his foot down to prevent me from passing. So we drove, and at some point I undertook a car, not the Volvo, a Fiat Panda. And he reported me, and I was punished even though he started it. He accelerated and wouldn't let me pass. And he braked in front of me, but he claimed I was tailgating, even though he braked. Situations like that happen all the time.
Das passiert ständig.
The perpetrators often feel they're the victims. That, too, is typical of the battles fought out on German roads. Thousands of road users have conflicts every day in big cities like Hamburg. Conflicts between drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians are inevitable. Cyclists live particularly dangerously. 1 in 5 injured road users is a cyclist. One man who enters the battlefield every day is Eddie. As a bicycle courier, he's always in a rush. He covers up to 100 kilometers per shift. The pressure he's under also affects his cycling style.
There's aggression there as soon as you come into contact with other road users. You swear and try to assert yourself to get ahead faster. My greatest enemies are reckless drivers who think they own the road. Then there are red lights like this one. I'd normally drive through it. If you're just going at a good speed, and the road is clear, and the traffic light makes no sense, I go when it's red too.
People exhibit negative driving behavior because they want to make up some time, although you can't save as much time as most people believe. And they also behave this way because they underestimate the risks. Just because they've done it hundreds of times, it doesn't mean it's risk-free. And they also do it because it's fun. Driving fast and accelerating and making good progress and getting in other people's way makes us feel more powerful and strong, which is attractive.
Carsten Greiser has a simple explanation for the appeal of aggressive, fast driving.
For men, it's all about who's got the bigger one. That's what it is. And when you're in a situation like that, it's all about who's faster, who's got the bigger one, who's better.
But speeding isn't just a test of strength among young men. It's a national sport. In an American study, more than half of the respondents admitted to aggressive behavior on the road. Experts estimate that this figure could be a lot higher in Germany. There are hardly any studies of aggression on German roads. Christian Maag has conducted one of the few.
I'm from the University of Würzburg and have a few questions about road rage. If you look at the traffic density on the motorway in this past hour, how much happened?
A lot.
A lot. Okay. How much aggressive driving did you witness in this past hour?
By others or myself?
By others. I don't want to ask about you.
2 occasions.
The amount of aggressive behavior is very closely linked to traffic density. The more traffic there is, the more aggressive behavior drivers exhibit.
The way people tailgate is incredible. You get these big BMWs and Mercedes and they speed up and come right up to you. You can see from a distance that it can't end well.
I get annoyed a lot about things like tailgaters who can't get there fast enough, or people who are stuck in the fast lane and don't seem to realize that there's a middle lane and a slow lane too, which are free and which they could use.
The impressions of the drivers are confirmed by the police. Speeding and tailgating are the most common offenses on German motorways. And apparently, the drivers can feel safe in the knowledge that they won't get caught.
How likely do you think it is that tailgaters are caught by the police on the motorway?
I think that's rare. The police aren't everywhere, so I think it's unlikely that they'll get caught.
Understood. The problem is that the surveillance the police can carry out is never so great that it produces enough pressure on tailgaters to stop them from doing it.
Christian Mag has evaluated complaints made to the police about dangerous driving, abuse, and insults by weekday, time, vehicle type, and driver. The results surprising.
We discovered what drivers and what vehicles get reported for aggressive behavior. We found that most of the offenders drive high-end limousines, such as an Audi A6, a BMW